This is Dying Light. We're here on Xbox Series X taking a look at the next-gen update for the game. So be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So originally, we had the FPS boost. That FPS boost has since been removed, and we've actually got a somewhat proper next-gen upgrade. Now, it isn't like fully optimized, but it seems like it's kind of next-gen aware, if that makes sense. So we've got 3 different modes for you to choose from. This is sort of the base mode that is present within the game for the visual options. So this is a... Oh no, we're getting attacked by a zombie creature. Oh no. So this is like an HD high frame rate mode, which is a bit of an odd thing. So you go to the settings, you go to options, and you've actually got to do this from the main menu. So you can't even do this while you're in the game, which is a bit of a pain. So let's back out to the main menu, and then we'll show this off here. So you get the 3 different choices that are present, and you do those from the video options, which are not available in the game, which again is such a pain. So there's high performance, which is, believe it or not, 1080p at 60 FPS, which does feel good, like you were just saying there. There is balanced, which is 1440p at 60 FPS, which they call Quad HD. And then high resolution, which is 4K at 30 FPS. So we're going to switch over to the 1440p, and we're going to give that one a whirl. I think this is probably going to be, at least for me, the suggested game mode to check out, resolution-wise and frame rate-wise. It gives you a balance of a much better looking picture while also having that fluidity. Obviously, if you have VRR kind of going off, you're going to have an even better time, obviously, because it's going to help smooth out those frames in case there are dips. And believe it or not, this is actually like a pretty demanding sort of experience gameplay-wise. So that's probably why this is happening. And it also doesn't seem like this is, a full proper next-gen update, like I was saying. This very much seems to be something that's just kind of like, hey, we want our game to play better. And I actually do appreciate that they actually... they actually took the time to update this game. I think that's, to me, quite important that they actually spent some time giving us a bit of an upgrade here so that the game, does run better, does feel better for longevity, right? And it's just a free applied update. You just jump in and you just enjoy it. It seems to be almost a bit of a surprise update that's just there waiting for you when you jump in. So I think that in itself is, kind of cool in my opinion. I like that they did that, and I think this, again, feels really, really good being here at this 1440p 60 FPS option. It's not necessarily the full sort of thing that I would have liked. 4K 60 would have been fantastic, but this is pretty good. Now, if you do absolutely want to make sure that you are getting 60 FPS the whole time with no issues, I would say the 1080p will be your way to go. That's really up to you and whether or not you want to do that. The choices are definitely in your favor, that's for sure. So you're probably, well, maybe you're not wondering, but what is Dying Light if you're not familiar with it? It's an open world zombie parkour game. It's basically like Dead Island, but, open world and free for you to explore and battle different zombies and parkour and do all kinds of crazy things. There's also this expansion area called The Following, which sort of expanded the scope of the experience a little bit further. This is also a cooperative experience, so you can play this with others if you'd like to. You don't have to play alone. You can jump in with other people. I need to stop wasting my stuff fixing that. But yeah, there is a lot of options for you to kind of jump in, fight off the zombie horde by yourself or with others. It's entirely up to you how you want to go and you want to take this all in. Okay, let's see. That is metal parts. Let's get a military rifle in here just to show off a little bit of the shooting going on. So it is an expansive offering. There was a ton of DLC that was added to this game. They did a lot. free DLC, paid DLC. The following is definitely something to look at doing because it is like a full extra story area and a full new island area. So you might find that to be the most intriguing aspect of extra content if you are looking to kind of do something new. You played the game at launch and you're not sure if you want to, you know, get back into it. That is something that is new for you to enjoy gameplay-wise. Okay, let's switch back to showing off another mode. We're going to go to the 4K 30 mode. Because again, you know, we want to show off all of the different options that are present here so that you can get an idea of them. Again, 4K 30 FPS. So we're obviously going to notice a increase in the resolution quality of the world, but the frame rate is going to drop down to 30. Now, if you originally played the game when it launched on the Xbox, 30 FPS is probably something you are used to, right? You know, it's not going to be too different. It's going to be something gameplay-wise that you're familiar with. But if you've been playing with the FPS boost, or you've been taking a look at the other frame rate options, you're probably going to notice, you know, a bit of a dip in the fluidity level of the game. This isn't necessarily the way that I would want to play this at this point, because I do think 1440p at 60 does look pretty good, and it feels a lot better too. But, you know, this is entirely up to you and the type of presentation and experience you want to have. That's why they give us options now, and it's fantastic that we are at a time in gaming where we actually, on consoles, are getting, you know, these options of how we want to interact and play with the game. I think that's really great. And I think it just offers, you know, freedom to the player to be like, okay, I want to play it this way, and you get to kind of just go from there, which is fantastic. Why is that one just shaking away there? Anyways, this is a pretty intense open-world survival game. So you collect resources to craft things, fix things, you explore different places, you open up safe zones, there's a lot of story-driven content. There is also a sequel. You know, Dying Light 2 is out as well. So I was kind of expecting this update, to come, you know, before the second game came out, to kind of like prepare people for that game. But that obviously did not happen. But at the same time, I think, again, for like the legacy of this title, the legacy of this franchise, I think it's really good that they did go back and actually give this one a proper upgrade. Were you coming out of the little hole there? That's funny. Because, you know, it is appreciated that we can finally enjoy this at a better option. I mean, we kind of waited and didn't get anything for like the 1X type era, which is a little disappointing, but now you actually do too. If you're on the 1X, it's better there as well with this update. So this really is less of like a true, I guess I want to say like next-gen optimized thing, but it's like next-gen aware, if that makes sense. So it's still a pretty good combo for providing that. And I mean, I think this does look really good. It looks quite sharp at this resolution quality, as it should. I mean, I would kind of be a little weirded out if it didn't look really sharp at 4K. And I think the world looks fantastic, but obviously having fluidity for me, especially in a game where you're like parkouring, you're moving fast, you're traversing this environment really quickly, fighting zombies, you know, being able to react quickly to what's going on is kind of a big portion of the experience for me. I think it is, you know, something that makes it look a lot better. But no matter what the modes, it does seem to be running relatively smoothly between them. I'm not really noticing any sort of real problems. I would imagine some more intensive scenes might cause some issues at 1440p 60, but, you know, I think that's a small sacrifice to make for something that is, you know, a much better fluidity experience. So we're going to grab this, and I think we're going to switch back, because we didn't really show off a whole lot of the 1080p mode, because I just wanted to start off with the high fluidity just so you can be like, oh, cool. And then ultimately we're going to probably finish off by showing the 1440p after, you know, we show off a little bit of the 1080p there. And it's, again, it's really weird that you have to go to the main menu to do this. A lot of games allow you to just switch on the fly, which is the preferred preference for me, because it makes it a lot easier to do comparison type things. But at least with that next-gen loading, it really doesn't take a whole lot of time to get back into the game, so that's fantastic. Like, we got a much more day type setting here. I love how we spawned right beside these bad guys. Did that guy just take like a whole bunch of assault rifle stuff? Keeping in mind, like, it is an RPG, right? Like, it's got RPG mechanics to it. You level up, you got skills, which I haven't been doing a whole lot with because I don't really care. We're just kind of showing it off, giving you an idea of things. We'll take the simple hatchet. Should probably actually switch. Let's put the simple hatchet in for the cruel sickle, which is typically a lot of fun. This one to use, the cruel sickle, that is, because it's cruel. What can I say? But you know, this does actually not look too bad. Like I've been saying, if you've been playing this in the past, this is basically, you know, the look that you're used to. I think if anything, it actually looks significantly sharper too. It still is jagged though, like you could look, it probably doesn't show up on the YouTube type of thing, but on that like tower to the left over there, it looks quite jagged. Some of the building edges aren't necessarily super sharp. Same with like the trees a little bit, but looks fine, looks good. Actually kind of surprised that this seems to be, I believe it's the default mode in this, is, you know, the 1080-60, because normally developers push the highest resolution quality as being the primary mode. So bravo on these guys to know that frame rate really is a big sort of upgrade for this type of game, in my opinion. It definitely adds a lot to it. And there is a lot more to this game, obviously doing story stuff. We're literally just sitting here munching through zombies because, well, it looks cool. And it gives you an idea of performance and everything like that. But yeah, it's just kind of like this open world that you can kind of explore, that you can do things in, you can level up in, you could do all these tense missions. Obviously, things have gone really bad. You are trying to make it in this society where, you know, the undead are definitely taking a bit of a grasp of the city, that's for sure. And it's got some like neat vibes to it. As you go around the city, taking in the sights, taking in the horrors, and like I was saying earlier, again, I just want to follow up again on the following. I really thought that was like a pretty cool DLC area that I think a lot of people would find kind of to be fun. So if you do like this core game, and you maybe never checked that out, or you're kind of coming in here fresh, I would suggest the following, because it's got like this really cool sort of grassy field type of vibe to it, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot to sort of see out there. It's got like vehicle stuff, whereas this is a lot more of like personal exploration, you know, an individual character sort of running around a city doing parkour, whereas the following kind of gives you a little bit of a greater sense of exploration. That's essentially what that is, which I think is pretty cool. But you can move around pretty good in this one at this point with the you know, the fluidity. I think that just makes traversal a lot better to go around in. And there's so many crazy areas, and then some spots are a little nuts because they just, like, the quantity of the undead that you come across are pretty cool. That's a big kind of command tower area. I believe that's, yeah, that should be the command tower area. Yeah, lots of different spots to visit. My health is low. I don't really want to lockpick. But yeah, there's lots to see. And I think with that, we're going to switch back over to more of the 1440p mode. I just want to show this area here because it's a little busier, a little bit more congested, you know, we're on the bridge. I think this was like the first bridge they showcased with this game way back in the day when they were doing like E3 stuff. Can I not jump up on there? I can. Okay, good. You get down in the bus, but you know, there's a lot of zombies kind of going around. It seems almost like tame and empty compared to more modern type experiences, but a lot of people just really love the whole dying light thing. Hey, look, it's a doggo. Do you guys see the doggo there? That's kind of cool. Huh, interesting. But lots to see, lots to do. Okay, is it like a marathon running thing? If it's a marathon running thing, why are there cars everywhere? Alright, let's back out here. And again, you lose progress once it's a checkpoint, but whatever, don't care. Doesn't bother me. And this will be the last mode that we show off here again, going to the 1440p video mode. Yes, balanced, quad HD. That is a very interesting way to call that. That's neat. I mean, I guess it's technically not wrong, but it's a very weird phrasing for that.
Can't blow this. I need to move.
How fast that loads. That is just crazy. Sometimes you really get that next-gen advantage, and it's just the best. Guess we're back against these guys. Hey, folks, how you doing? You just throw a hatchet at me? That's not very nice. My health is pretty low. I'm probably going to die. This just got really tense. It got fast and furious. I'm dead and I've lost more survivor points. Whatever will I do? And there's also rarity items. Look for points by doing different hints, but look how faster it is, like, even when you die, just to, like, respawn and come back at it. Just crazy. And I know I should be going towards collecting that airdrop, but I really don't care, because I'm trying to show off the game. That's mostly the point here, is to be like, hey, yo, take a look at this. See these improvements and be like, huh, this is pretty nice. Like, again, like I was saying, this looks really quite good. You know, it feels really, really good. The FPS boost was fantastic for this game, needless to say. I mean, if you weren't familiar with the FPS boost, it was really nice. But having a, like, native upgrade to the game, I think is an even better experience. I think that adds a lot more to it on top of that. So that is a very nice touch here. Okay, let's repair this, I guess. I don't know why we want to repair it, but we should, I suppose. We'll grab some more parts. Nice. So you do have the missions you could be doing, but I elect to ignore all that stuff because I just want to run around and parkour like a hero. Ooh, there we go. Nice. But there is a lot of verticality, like a lot of different places that you can kind of like find yourself exploring and seeing, which is pretty cool. So there's a lot to take in, and then it's just feeling so much better. That's higher frame rates for you. It's a simple thing, but it makes a world of difference having a higher frame rate. That is for sure. Look at this smooth action going on. Hello there, fellow zombies. Just kidding, I'm not a zombie. I could be, though. I could be. But the city offers a lot for you to take in. Dynamic, like, days and everything like that. I really don't see why this isn't just the default mode. You know, I could see maybe some people wanting, like, ultimate frame rate, but, like, it's not like they're giving us 120 FPS, which I kind of feel like they almost should be able to do, right? I'm happy to help you, my friend. Good luck out there surviving. So, if you are coming from Dead Island, you know, somehow, because it's been so long since that game came out, that franchise, you know, this should actually kind of, in my opinion, feel similar to that, but obviously, you know, just massive differences in terms of the gameplay mechanics, the style of the world, your goals, the movement system is just, like, absolutely fantastic. I don't know how they were able to actually get such a well-done sort of movement system, because it's, like, it's definitely a regular world, right? Like, this is a regular city, but yet it feels like the perfect haven of parkour action as you explore through it and do crazy, gnarly stuff, take out enemies, and just really take in what the sites have to offer. I mean, there's a lot to do here, which is kind of cool, and it feels so good. This is a really good update. I'm very, very glad this is here. Could they have pushed things further? I don't know. I would have maybe liked to see a 4K 60 mode. You know, maybe they could do like a VR unlock thing, maybe even like a future-proof thing where it's 4K 60, and maybe, you know, not this console, but a console after could do that. Because, you know, obviously, as games get older, there's less and less of a chance of developers going back and updating things. We're very lucky this generation where a bunch of developers do really care about their older titles, probably because they're still making money off of them. And, you know, going and providing these updates, I think is a fantastic way to continue to support these games into the future. I mean, they should be caring about their legacy, in my opinion. But, yeah, I'm definitely quite happy with this. I'm glad that they finally released. It's looking good. It's feeling smooth. I think it offers a lot to like. I think there's some really great things to do in here, and I think you can have a lot of fun diving into the lands of, well, Dying Light. So this is the original experience. Again, liking the video is great, subscribing is great as well. And yeah, I think this has been a really neat visit to it. And I might also do a little bit of a showcase of the following as well, since that is such a a different experience on top of this.